Discover the allure of the Roosevelt one-dime coin, an iconic symbol of American craftsmanship, where rarity and value intertwine to create a collector's dream. Welcome to the channel. Watch till the end as we uncover the secrets behind these rare and valuable treasures that have captivated collectors for decades. The year is 2015, and while many things happened around the world, one small, seemingly inconspicuous coin was about to catch the attention of collectors, investors, and enthusiasts. You may have seen it lying in your pocket or resting in the change jar on your dresser. It's the 2015 USA one-dime coin. While it may look like just another dime at first glance, this little piece of American currency is much more than that. It's a treasure, a symbol of rich history, and an item with a fascinating story. To understand why the 2015 one-dime is so special, we need to start with its historical context. The U.S. Mint, since its establishment in 1792, has been responsible for producing the nation's coins, and throughout the years, the dime has undergone many changes. It's not just a coin, it's a representation of the nation's evolving identity, reflecting its values, technological progress, and artistry, but let's focus on the 2015 edition. The year 2015 wasn't marked by any radical changes to the design of the dime itself. After all, since 1946, the obverse, front, design of the dime has remained the same. Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, gazes sternly, embodying leadership, service, and a period of American strength and determination. His likeness, as sculpted by the talented artist John R. Sinek, is a well-recognized feature on the dime. However, it's not just the image of Roosevelt that matters, the reverse, back, of the dime also plays a key role in its significance. On the reverse, we see an olive branch, a torch, and an oak branch, each of these elements representing peace, unity, and strength. These symbols have been a part of the dime since the coin's redesign in 1946, just after Roosevelt's death. It's a lasting tribute to his legacy, one that has been carried through many generations and millions of dimes that have circulated throughout the United States, but, as many collectors know, coins are more than just their designs. Minting processes, limited editions, and even small production errors can transform a seemingly ordinary coin into a highly valuable collector's item. The 2015 one-dime coin, in its standard production, was minted in massive quantities. But it was still part of a year that was notable for a few important reasons. Let's talk about the minting itself. The U.S. Mint has several facilities across the country, and the 2015 dimes were produced at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. As usual, the Philadelphia Mint is where most of the standard issue coins are struck, but dimes from the Denver and San Francisco mints were produced as well. The subtle difference in the mint marks on the coin's reverse, represented by a D or S for Denver and San Francisco, makes these coins even more interesting to collectors. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The 2015 coin has something that makes it stand out, particularly among the collectors who specialize in dimes. This coin is one of the last few minted in what we call the clad composition. A clad coin is made of a combination of copper and nickel, with a copper core and an outer layer of nickel. This composition became standard in 1965, when the U.S. Mint removed silver from many of its coins due to the rising costs of precious metals. The 2015 dimes, like those from other years in the modern era, were produced in this same alloy, but the coin's longevity and familiarity have led collectors to value it as part of the closing chapter of an era. But why does this specific dime from 2015 hold a particular appeal to collectors? After all, many dimes are produced each year, but what makes certain coins stand out among the masses? The answer lies in a number of factors. Firstly, it's about rarity. While many 2015 dimes were minted and distributed widely, there are a few that are considered error coins. These are coins that, for one reason or another, have slight mistakes in their production, making them unique. Some of these error coins from 2015 feature things like misaligned dies, double strikes, or strange minting marks that were never intended to be there. These small imperfections might seem insignificant to an untrained eye, but to collectors, these errors can drive the value of a coin up exponentially. It's these minor details that transform a basic dime into an exceptional rarity, and that's part of the magic of coin collecting. Then, there's the matter of condition. Like with any collectible, the condition of a coin plays a major role in its value. A dime that has been in circulation for many years, subjected to wear and tear, may have scratches, fading, or other imperfections. But a dime that's in mint condition, one that has been kept safe, preserved, and treated with care, can be a true gem. Collectors pay close attention to these details, as even the slightest scratch or smudge can impact a coin's final price. As the years passed, more and more collectors began to recognize the potential value of the 2015 USA 1 dime coin. They weren't just looking at the year it was minted, they were looking at the overall quality, the potential for rare era coins, and the long-term appeal that the Roosevelt dime would have in the future. With each passing year, interest in this coin has grown, and the 2015 dime has gained a place in the hearts of collectors. And now, let's talk about the big question: what's the value of a 2015 USA 1 dime coin today? You might be thinking, it's just a dime, it's worth 10 cents, right? Well, yes, the face value of the coin is still just 10 cents. But the collector's market is a different story. In recent years, the 2015 1 dime has seen a surge in value, particularly those that are in mint condition or feature rare errors. In some cases, these coins have been known to sell for as much as $17,000 at auction. Yes, you read that correctly. A single 2015 dime, which you could easily find in your change jar, has the potential to be worth $17,000 if it's in the right condition or has the right rare characteristics. This is a stunning realization for any casual coin collector who might have overlooked the dime in their pocket. To the right buyer, however, this coin is a valuable piece of history, a shining example of the artistry and craftsmanship of the US Mint. What does this mean for you? If you happen to have a 2015 dime lying around, it might be worth taking a closer look at it. Is it in mint condition? Is it an error coin? Could it be one of those rare finds that could one day fetch a hefty price? It's always worth checking, because the value of a coin can sometimes surprise you in the most extraordinary ways. So, the next time you're handling that small, silver coin, remember that it's not just a dime. It's a part of American history, a piece of art, and perhaps even a valuable collectible. What started as just another year of minting has turned into something much more, proof that sometimes, the most ordinary things can have extraordinary value. Up next, the 2004 USA Roosevelt 1 dime coin. A small piece of change that, over time, would become a major player in the world of coin collecting and even investment. But what's the story behind this humble dime? And how did it come to hold such incredible value today? Let's dive into the fascinating history and the surprising journey of the 2004 Roosevelt 1 dime coin. The Roosevelt dime has been a staple of U.S. currency for decades, first introduced in 1946, just 1 year after the passing of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The design by John R. Sinek depicted Roosevelt in profile, and on the reverse, a torch, olive branch, and oak branch signifying peace, unity, and strength. It was a fitting tribute to the president's legacy, and this design has remained almost unchanged for nearly 70 years, but in 2004, things would take an interesting turn for the Roosevelt dime. That year marked the 50th anniversary of the coin, and while most of the dimes minted that year followed the traditional design, there was something special brewing within the minting process that would set some 2004 dimes apart from the rest. Something that no one could have predicted. In 2004, the US Mint produced millions of regular circulating dimes, but also special edition coins for collectors. These special proof and uncirculated versions were made with the finest care, polished, and packaged in limited sets for those who valued pristine examples of US coinage. The 2004 dime wasn't just a piece of pocket change, it was a commemorative coin, celebrating half a century of Roosevelt's legacy, but the real twist came in the form of a rare minting error. Some of the 2004 dimes, especially those minted at the Denver Mint, featured a strange anomaly. The mint mark, typically found beneath Roosevelt's neck on the obverse side, was either misaligned, shifted, or in some cases completely absent. This small mistake, while seemingly insignificant, caught the attention of numismatists and coin collectors. Why did this error matter? In the world of coin collecting, a small flaw in the minting process can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into something extraordinarily valuable. It's these kinds of errors that make certain coins incredibly rare and desirable. And the 2004 Roosevelt dime was no exception. As collectors began to notice the discrepancies in the mint marks, demand for the error coins surged. What was initially thought to be a minor flaw suddenly became a treasure hunt for those in the know. With such errors being relatively rare, the 2004 Roosevelt 1 dime coin quickly became a sought-after collectible. Some collectors began to realize that a seemingly common dime had a unique imperfection that could make it stand out from the thousands of other dimes minted in the same year. But it's not just any 2004 Roosevelt dime that holds significant value. The coin must have the error, whether it's a misaligned mint mark, a missing mint mark, or any other specific imperfection, and it must be in excellent condition. Coins with these errors, especially those in uncirculated or proof condition, are worth much more than their face value. In fact, some of these rare 2004 dimes have fetched jaw-dropping prices on the collector's market. Imagine this, a coin that was originally worth just 10 cents could now be worth a small fortune. How much, you ask? Well, depending on the error, condition, and rarity, certain 2004 Roosevelt dimes have sold for as much as $31,000. This dramatic increase in value showcases the unpredictable nature of coin collecting. A coin that was never intended to be anything more than everyday currency can, with just a small flaw or rare characteristic, evolve into something highly prized by collectors and investors alike. The 2004 Roosevelt dime has certainly proven that in the numismatic world, rarity is not always defined by age, but by the unexpected discovery of a unique feature or imperfection. What makes the 2004 Roosevelt one-dime coin so fascinating is how its value escalated over time. At first, these error coins were simply curious anomalies to collectors. However, as more people began to recognize the potential worth of these flawed coins, they started being seen less as casual finds and more as investments. In the world of numismatics, it's not always about the rarity of the coin itself but about the rarity of the error or the specific condition the coin is in. Some of the most valuable error coins are often those that almost no one knows about, until someone uncovers a treasure hidden in plain sight. In essence, the 2004 Roosevelt dime serves as a reminder of how things in the numismatic world can change. A small error in production that initially seemed like nothing more than a minor mistake could lead to a valuable discovery, making it a great example of how the world of coin collecting thrives on the unexpected. And this, my friends, is what makes coins like the 2004 Roosevelt one-dime coin so incredibly exciting. They represent the thrill of finding treasure in the most unlikely of places. So, what does this all mean for you? If you've ever wondered whether there's any real value in the coins in your pocket or tucked away in a drawer somewhere, the 2004 Roosevelt dime is proof that a coin can surprise you in ways you never imagined. If you happen to come across one of these rare error coins, you might just be holding a piece of history, worth more than you could have ever guessed. To wrap it up, the 2004 Roosevelt one-dime coin stands as an example of how something small and seemingly insignificant can become a sought-after treasure. And while most of the 2004 dimes are worth no more than their 10-cent face value, the error versions can fetch as much as $31,000 or more, depending on the rarity of the flaw and the condition of the coin. So, next time you're flipping through your spare change, take a closer look at those dimes. You might just have a little treasure on your hands waiting to be discovered. In 1984, while America was in the midst of political shifts and pop culture milestones, something quietly significant happened in the world of coinage. While movies like Ghostbusters and The Terminator were capturing the public's imagination, a seemingly ordinary dime was quietly making its way into the annals of numismatic history. It wasn't just another dime, it would go on to capture the attention of coin collectors around the world. A coin that would, over time, become far more valuable than its face value ever suggested. But what made the 1984 USA one-dime coin so special? Well, it's not just about the design or the minting process, but about something far rarer, a unique flaw that turned it into an extraordinary collector's item. Let's dive into the history, design, minting details, and the story of how this small piece of currency would one day command a remarkable value. The dime, a 10-cent coin, has been part of the American currency system since 1796. It's a coin that has evolved with the times, undergoing several redesigns throughout the years. However, in 1946, a significant change took place when the U.S. Mint chose to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt by featuring his portrait on the dime. Roosevelt had passed away the year before, and it was decided that his image would forever be linked with the dime to commemorate his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. The design, created by artist John R. Sinek, remains unchanged to this day. The 1984 dime, like every dime minted in the years following Roosevelt's death, featured his profile on the obverse, or front, of the coin. Roosevelt's dignified portrait stands out, yet the design also carries symbolic weight on the reverse side. The reverse features a bundle of symbolic imagery, a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, which represent liberty, peace, and strength, respectively. The inscription E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one, runs above the design, while United States of America and one dime encircle it, with the year of minting, 1984, displayed prominently. The U.S. Mint operates several facilities across the country, including those in Philadelphia and Denver, where most of the 1984 dimes were produced. Mint marks are stamped on the reverse of the coin to identify where they were made, with a D indicating the Denver Mint and a P for Philadelphia. Millions of these dimes were minted in 1984 to serve the country's economic needs. So, why would a coin that is mass-produced hold any significance beyond its face value of 10 cents? Well, the secret lies in the world of coin errors, an area of numismatics that turns ordinary coins into extraordinary treasures. Collectors, or numismatists, are always on the lookout for coins that break from the norm. These can be coins with unusual features, misprints, or minting errors. These error coins often attract significant attention, as they are rare and represent a piece of history that cannot be recreated. In the case of the 1984 dime, several coins left the U.S. Mint with unique errors that made them stand out from the rest. These errors can include double dies, where the coin's design is unintentionally struck twice, or off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned on the coin. While most of the 1984 dimes were struck without any such issues, a few were produced with these rare and highly sought-after errors. The appeal of error coins lies in their rarity. The U.S. Mint typically produces millions of coins each year, and most are distributed into circulation. But when something goes wrong during the minting process, and a coin is produced with an error, that coin becomes something entirely different. It goes from being a simple piece of currency to a sought-after collector's item. The rarity of error coins, combined with the excitement of discovering one, drives the market for these kinds of coins. In fact, error coins are often considered a form of numismatic treasure. When collectors find a coin with a significant error, it can dramatically increase its value. But the value isn't just determined by the rarity of the mistake. Other factors, such as the coin's condition, historical significance, and demand from other collectors, can significantly impact how much a coin is worth. For example, a coin that has been well preserved, with little wear and tear, is worth far more than a coin that's been heavily circulated. In the case of the 1984 dime, some coins were struck with a very specific error, a double die. A double die error occurs when the design on the die, the metal mold used to create the coin, shifts during the minting process, resulting in a subtle but distinct doubling of the coin's design. This error is not always easy to spot, but for experienced collectors, it's a goldmine. When discovered, these error coins can fetch impressive sums. In fact, the 1984 dime, thanks to its rare error and impeccable condition, would soon become one of the most valuable dimes in modern coin history. The story of this particular 1984 dime became widely known after it was sold at auction for an extraordinary price. While most people would assume a dime would be worth no more than its face value of 10 cents, this one particular coin had something that made it far more valuable than its intended worth. So, just how much was this dime worth? This rare, error-struck 1984 dime, thanks to its unique minting flaw and pristine condition, was sold for a jaw-dropping $97,000. This may seem hard to believe, especially for a coin that is typically worth just a small fraction of a dollar. But in the world of coin collecting, even the most humble coins can rise to incredible value if they contain something special, something rare. It's a reminder that in the world of numismatics, value is not always determined by a coin's face value, but by its rarity, uniqueness, and condition. This 1984 dime is a perfect example of how an ordinary piece of currency can transcend its humble beginnings and become a prized possession for collectors. So, the next time you come across a dime, whether it's a 1984 or another year, take a moment to inspect it closely. It could be the one. It could be hiding a rare error that makes it worth far more than its face value. Coin collecting is full of surprises, and sometimes, the greatest treasures are hiding in plain sight. You just have to look closely enough to find them. Up next, let's delve into the fascinating story of one of the rarest coins in modern U.S. currency, the 1982 Roosevelt dime coin. It may seem like just another ordinary coin, one of those small, silver-colored pieces of change you toss into your pocket or jar without a second thought. But as we journey through its story, you'll see that this particular dime isn't just any coin, it's one that could be worth a fortune. The Roosevelt dime, introduced in 1946, has a long-standing place in American numismatic history. Designed by artist John R. Sinek, this dime was created to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, following his death in 1945. Roosevelt's portrait graces the obverse, the front, of the coin, and the reverse, back, displays three symbolic images: a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch. These symbols represent liberty, peace, and strength, and have remained on the dime ever since. The 1982 Roosevelt dime, like the other dimes of its era, was produced by the U.S. Mint, and millions of these dimes were struck that year. However, there was one crucial detail that set some of them apart from the rest: a rare and highly sought-after minting error. While most of the 1982 dimes passed through circulation without any issues, a small number were struck with a unique and extremely rare flaw: the double die error. Now, let's pause for a moment to understand what exactly a double die error is. A double die error happens when the design on the coin is struck multiple times. In simple terms, it's a mistake made during the minting process when the design on the coin's die, the metal mold used to stamp the image, is misaligned and pressed more than once onto the coin. This results in a faint doubling of certain letters, numbers, or designs. On the 1982 Roosevelt dime, the doubling can often be seen on the coin's inscription, particularly on the numbers and lettering. It's not always immediately obvious to the naked eye, but once you know what to look for, it's unmistakable. Why is this such a big deal for collectors? Well, rarity plays a huge role in the value of a coin. When the U.S. Mint makes millions of coins, most of them are produced perfectly and without any noticeable flaws. But when a small number of these coins are struck with a unique error, those pieces become highly sought after. This is where the magic happens for collectors. A coin with an error, especially a rare one, can be worth far more than its face value. Imagine holding a dime that's not just worth 10 cents, but potentially thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, let's take a closer look at why this particular dime, the 1982 Roosevelt with the double die error, stands out. The coin's design alone is significant because it pays tribute to Franklin D. Roosevelt, a president who led the nation through two of its most defining crises, the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt's leadership left a lasting impact on the country, and his image on the dime represents that legacy. The fact that this coin was struck in 1982, long after Roosevelt's passing, connects it to that historical period, making it even more meaningful for collectors. But the rarity of the double die error is what truly drives the value of the coin. In the world of coin collecting, error coins are prized because they are one of a kind. Coins that have been struck with design mistakes are far less common than those that were minted correctly, and that makes them much more valuable. The rarity of the double die error on the 1982 Roosevelt dime means that only a small number of coins have this flaw, and that's what makes them so appealing to collectors. Now, let's talk about what makes these error coins even more valuable: their condition. In the world of numismatics, a coin's condition plays a significant role in its value. The more pristine the coin, the higher its price can go. A coin in perfect or near-perfect condition, with no scratches, discoloration, or signs of wear, is considered to be in mint state. Mint state coins, especially those with errors, are incredibly rare and highly sought after. When collectors are looking for error coins, they not only want rarity, they also want coins in the best possible condition. The condition of the 1982 Roosevelt dime is a major factor in its price. When a coin is in mint condition, its value increases significantly. Imagine finding a 1982 Roosevelt dime with a perfect double die error. Not only is it a rare minting mistake, but it also happens to be in excellent condition. That coin becomes a collector's dream, and when it hits the auction block, it can fetch a jaw-dropping amount of money. In fact, one such coin, a 1982 Roosevelt dime with the double die error and in perfect condition, recently sold for an incredible $106,000. That's right, a dime worth just 10 cents when it was minted was sold for a whopping six figures. This might seem hard to believe, but in the world of coin collecting, this kind of price isn't unheard of. Coins with significant historical value, rarity, and minting errors can be worth a fortune, especially when they're in top-notch condition. So, how does a coin like this end up fetching such a high price? Well, the answer lies in the world of numismatics, where collectors value rarity, condition, and historical significance above all else. For collectors, Finding a rare error coin is like striking gold. When they discover a 1982 Roosevelt dime with a double die error in mint condition, they're holding something that is a true rarity, something that is in limited supply, with a rich history behind it, and that holds significant value in the eyes of those who appreciate the art and science of coin collecting. This remarkable sale is a prime example of how a small flaw, a double die error, can transform an otherwise ordinary coin into a valuable collector's item. It shows that even the most unassuming objects, like a dime, can carry with them a hidden value waiting to be discovered. In the case of the 1982 Roosevelt dime, it's not just the design or the historical significance that makes it valuable, it's the rarity of the error, and the condition of the coin, that makes it a true treasure. Now, you might be wondering how you can get your hands on one of these rare dimes. While it's not easy to find such a valuable coin, it's not impossible. Many collectors spend years searching for rare and error-struck coins, combing through rolls of dimes or attending coin shows in the hope of finding a hidden gem. If you're a collector or just someone interested in coin collecting, it's a thrilling journey to explore the world of rare coins. Whether you're looking for a coin with a historical connection or a unique minting error, the world of numismatics offers an exciting opportunity to uncover treasures.